Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX. We cover the real news that matter to we the people. Protective stupidity and the manufactured white nationalist threat. Kurt Nemo from the Washington Standard reports that I'm probably as sick and tired of white supremacist canard as you are. I keep harping on it because I'm convinced it is a perfect storm, that is to say, a chance for the state to aggravate already record high political division to the boiling point and exploit it in an order to expand the police state and outlaw free speech as terrorism, and providing aid and comfort to Nazis, fascists, white supremacists, and nationalists. Of course, this dinky minority, even the SPLC, puts their numbers in a few thousand, is not a threat, at least not a threat on a scale of weekly shootings and murders in Chicago. The state and its media have blurred the lines between actual neo Nazis and Trump supporting conservatives, who are indeed MAGA nationalists, not racist white nationalists. The race part was added after Trump won the election. It fits the identity politics credo that declares all white people, especially white males, are somehow privileged and owe billions of dollars to minorities at risk. You know it's serious when the editorial board of Gray Lady Propaganda posts the following: the awesome power of the state will work tirelessly to deny future terrorists access to weaponry, money, and forms to spread their ideology. The movement would be infiltrated by spies and informants. Its financiers would face sanctions. Places and congregations would be surveilled. Those gave aid or comfort to terrorists would be prosecuted. Programs would be established to de-radicalize former adherents. The awesome power of the state was demonstrated when it incarnated men, women, and children at Waco, or when members of Move were incarcerated along with the rest of the neighborhood in Philadelphia. On May 30th, the FBI let us know the target is not simply a handful of white supremacists. The threat comes from a fringe political conspiracy theories, and I talked about. I did a video on this before. You can look at the previous video. That have magical abilities to make people commit criminal and sometimes violent activities. The editors, the New York Times, want the government to single out individuals, deny First and Second Amendment rights, close down bank accounts, and set up the witless and cautious for phony terrorist attacks. A specialty of the FBI, the showcase arrest and trial of patsies reinforce the propaganda and the illusion of the threat. The FBI also has plenty of experience replacing spies and infiltrators, the latter often responsible for initiating violence in legitimate political organizations. In fact, it could be argued that the FBI specialized in creating terror groups from scratch as part of as it did under its COINTELPRO. And we know that with COINTELPRO, that's how they infiltrated the Black Panthers. You know, the Black Panthers was a really good community, a group that actually worked for the community and would help people. And they were a staunch Second Amendment a group. And then the FBI came in and infiltrated it, and that's when they became radical. And the FBI tried to set them up, and so we have presidents to this, where the FBI come in and infiltrate certain groups that they didn't like. But the article goes on to say that did you buy something from Infowars or Breitbart? Maybe a T-shirt or a coffee mug. According to the New York Times, this makes you a financier of terrorism, and you may face sanctions, whatever that means. Buying macho vitamins from Alex Jones is now considered giving aid and comfort to the enemy. More surveillance of emails, posts, chats, phone calls, browsing histories, and the daily activities of millions of people will be required to stamp out the fake scourge of white nationalism. The New York Times is calling for re-education camps, maybe a congressional task force to be sent to China's Xinjiang re-education camps to study how the mass brainwashed thousands, possibly millions of people not on narrative. Special mental health prisons might be in order. And we know that Hillary Clinton talked about re-education camps when she was running for president, of people that had different ideologies from her. But SL author Philip K. Dick, I'm sorry, SF author Philip K. Dick came with the concept of pre-crime, an effort to prevent crime before it happens. Dick's story, The Minority Report, which is one of my favorite movies, depended on precogs, mutants capable of precognition to prevent future crimes. Instead of pre-crime, we face the stigma of thought crime, and that's straight out of 1984. A political crime described in George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, like I just said. Pre-crime detection is not necessarily if the public is trained. The idea of political change is not only impossible, but a serious punishment of punished thought crime. The New York Times editorial board has suggested the creation of thought police, any deviation from Big Brother's totalitarian broad agents of think pool and minority of love, many love, down on those suspected of independent thought. According to the novel's arch nemesis, Emmanuel Goldstein, Crime Stop means the facility of stopping short, as though by instinct, at the threshold of any dangerous thought. It includes the power of not grasping analogies, of failing to perceive logical errors, of misunderstanding the simplest arguments if they are inimical and insult, and of being bored or repelled by any train of thought which is capable of leading in a heretical direction. Crime Stop, in short, means protective stupidity. Protective stupidity is precisely what the state, with the help of its corporate propaganda media, is attempting to accomplish. If you don't want to lose your job, have your bank account shut down, your children taken away by the state, your firearms confiscated by a SWAT team, and your every move strictly monitored by an increasingly sophisticated high-tech surveillance state, you will embrace cognitive dissonance, which basically means stay in the party line, stand with the mainstream narrative, and don't stray from this narrative, or it's going to be dire consequences. But the article goes on to say that, for instance, that a handful of errors violated the laws of physics, made buildings collapse in their footprint, and had the debris of large aircraft disappear from a Pennsylvania farm field and the lawn at Pentagon. So basically saying if you believe any of this stuff, then you're liable to lose your bank account, your children, or any other things that the state deemed necessary for you going against the narrative. And we all know that it's not that many white nationalists, like this article said. The SPLC even said there's only a couple thousand, there's only a few thousand of them. So that's like a minority of a minority of a minority. It's not that many white nationalists running around and supporting Trump. This is all bull crap. They just trying to tie white nationalism with Trump. This is all political crap. Nobody really believes this. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out DEMOCREPUBLIX.com for the latest in news. Until next time. We living on a real nightmare. We living on a real nightmare.